and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm actually continuing the work I started with this apartment complex. So if you didn't actually see my first video on this, I'm actually decorating and building the exterior of this, and then I've divided it up into like 6 different apartments, which I will be decorating in multiple parts. So this is actually the first apartment that I'm decorating, and this is on the first floor on, I believe it's the left side now that the building is spinning around a bunch. I can't tell, but I'm pretty sure it's the left side of the building. And this is actually going to be like a grandmother's apartment is what I'm envisioning here. Each one of the apartments, I want it to be like a different kind of sim, and for some reason I just felt like we should have a grandmother in the building, and I wanted her to be on the first floor since, you know, there's just a bunch of stairs and not an elevator, at least not in The Sims 4. I'm pretty sure we had them in The Sims 3, but anyways. So this is one of the smaller apartments as well, so I thought for like a single person, it made a little more sense. Both of the apartments on the first floor are slightly smaller than the ones on the second and third floor, since we had like a long corridor with the staircase and everything, whereas the other floors only have like a smaller landing area for the stairs. So here I've just kind of started with the bathroom, and I kind of went with these like natural earthy tones for the whole entire apartment. It just felt like that would be like what this sim would want. So there's some like gold accents and a lot of these browns, golds, and greens everywhere. And I actually ended up using a lot of cottage living here just because it made a lot of sense. All the stuff like matched with like this like classic like grandmother vibe that I was going for. And so I was thinking like this grandmother has like at least one kid and has some grandkids. So you'll see a little bit of that throughout the apartment. Unfortunately, her husband is no longer with her, but I do add like a portrait on the wall where I felt like that would maybe be him when he was younger. And so again, this is like the story I'm writing for this sim, but of course you can do whatever you want with it. And I do have the shell up on the gallery, so if you just want to download the apartment shell and decorate all the apartments like for yourself, then please feel free to do so and kind of do whatever you want with it. And I think my plan will be for all of these apartments, I want to put these actually on the gallery as like rooms so that you could place it as like a house or do whatever you want with it or make your own apartment, things like that. But at the very end, once I'm done with all of the apartments, I'll be downloading or technically uploading the whole apartment complex to the gallery so you can download it fully furnished. I know I mentioned it in the last video for this, but I'm just wondering how expensive this is going to be. It's going to be insane. But anyway, so there's going to be a couple ways that you could download this, but once it's all done, the whole entire complex will be up. And I did want to add, a decent amount of clutter to this, but not terrible. Like I feel like, the grandmother maybe has collected a lot of stuff, but it's not like overly like everywhere, if that makes sense. Like I'm thinking maybe she moved out of like a larger home and just like decluttered her life, Marie Kondoed all the stuff she has, and just kept the stuff that makes her happy and moved into this smaller apartment. And when I actually was decorating this, I'm realizing like I use these gorgeous giant windows from Eco Lifestyle on the exterior of this build, and that's going to make my life harder when I have to put curtains on all of them. So you can see I kind of combined 2 different curtains to this one, so it kind of would cover it. And so I don't know, we'll see how it looks in the rest of the builds. And I'm actually adding, since this cabinetry actually had like shelves and stuff you could see into, I tried to add stuff to them. Like she had put a bunch of stuff up on the shelves, and so I did all of this. And so in a minute, you'll actually see me, I wanted to divide up the space a little bit, so I did put a half wall in here in a minute, but it was doing this weird glitch and actually I think I left all that footage in there, so you'll probably see me like doing some stuff. I think I did pause the recording at one point to try to figure out what was going on, but for some reason, when I put in the half wall, it like, and I wanted to paint it, like, or put wallpaper on it, it wanted to delete all that stuff I just placed. All the stuff with move objects on, it wanted to delete all of it. And I don't know why. So anyways, I did figure it out. So you can see like every time I go to like put that like stuff, it just deletes stuff. Like it's so bizarre. And actually looking, I didn't even realize it deleted out the little plate thing just from painting the wall. Why? Anyways, so that's not in the build anymore because I didn't notice. By the time I figured it out, it's like when I was doing this half wall. And I decided that it made more sense. And we could put another chair in there. But yeah, you can see like after painting that wall, like all the stuff I placed is gone now. And I was like, what is going on? You can see it highlighting all the stuff in yellow. But anyways, I did figure it out. I ended up like drawing the half wall and putting it in 3 different segments, like kind of placing it there and then painting it. I don't know if like the game then thinks it's like, oh, it's something different. It's not something we just drew, so I'm not going to freak out and delete all of your stuff that you took forever to put there using move objects. But I don't know. And after I figured out that I could just do that, I was thinking maybe I could turn off move objects, do it, and then maybe turn it back on or something. But maybe that's another way to fix it. But I was also like, because this is kind of a small area, again, this being like 1 person, and I thought, yeah, they'd have like a basket of like blankets and stuff in the corner. And I actually left it on the swatch with like the little pumpkin. I like the idea of it being like maybe her fall like decor, and like she just keeps it in that basket over there. It just felt very like homey to me. And I didn't want like a giant couch, so I just put like this small love seat and then like a chair in the corner, and I ended up putting like a magazine rack over there too. But I just kind of wanted this really like cozy vibe. And I do actually end up putting a fireplace in here, but it actually ends up being in the bedroom. The bedroom actually ends up being really large. Oh, and this is the photo like I think it's from Paranormal Pack, but I thought it'd be nice. Maybe that's like a younger photo of her husband that she has on the wall. And then maybe like over there, the photos of maybe like her and her husband like being really young. I just thought that'd be kind of nice. And just some more of the smaller bits on the wall. And just like, and then I decided she should have a cat. I was like, she has to have a cat. So I put like some cat sculptures on that like cabinet, what I made into a TV stand. And I thought maybe she didn't do a lot of TV watching, so it ended up being like a smaller TV. But I think it turned out really nice and cozy in the end. And then yeah, I ended up with just these small curtains on these like skinnier windows. And I'm thinking maybe like they unfurl and like cover the window or something like that. And then I did the same thing I did in the kitchen in this like foyer-y kind of space. And then I decided this would be a great place to put like a cat tree and like just dedicate it to a cat, like this whole area. And I actually, so it kind of bugs me that the curtains didn't go all the way to the floor, but I couldn't find something like it that did do that. But I'm thinking maybe she did that because the cat liked to claw at them or something. So not that the cat's like, I mean, I feel like the cat could still get to them, but that's like kind of the thing I put in my head, that this like is a way to keep the cat from clawing at the curtains. And then I do replace this little like cabinetry there in a minute, and then I put a few scratches on the wall, like maybe the cat was scratching at the wall or something like that. And I feel like she maybe found that like cool decal and like put it on the wall so the cat would have a friend or something. And then like I end up putting, actually from dogs and cats, I ended up putting like 2 next to each other, like a big cabinet. And then I thought maybe that's where she kept some of the cat supplies. Like I put some food over there and like the cat toy and some treats and things like that. So that's basically just the cat space is basically what's happening in here. And then in the bedroom, I actually end up having like her bed space, and then also having this like cozy like library like sitting area in there as well, which I think turned out really cute, and like that would be her space to like hang out. And then obviously I put in a little cat bed. I did like replace it with a smaller one just because like the cats just aren't that big. Like those are really meant for like the larger dogs in the game, but which didn't make a lot of sense since this was going to be a cat. So, and I did struggle in here for a little while as to what I wanted to do, because I wanted this to have a little bit of personality. I was thinking like pink would be nice or something like that, but I was just having a hard time because like I liked that bedspread, but then it just didn't feel like it matched like what I felt like the rest of the room would look like, or the rest of the house would look like. So I ended up doing this. So it saw some floral and some pink in it, but then with the green bed, and I liked like the metalwork on this bed, so I wanted to keep it. And then using kind of those, like, to me looking like old school looking lamps from, I think it was like the Vampire pack. And then we just ended up putting a dresser over there and putting some clutter on it. Like, I think I've got stuff in there that I felt like would have come from like maybe her grandkids, and like maybe a photo of the family. You'll see in a minute that I ended up putting that photo there. I think it's actually like a team photo of like some kids, I don't know, playing soccer. That's what it looks like to me. But I was thinking maybe that's like a family photo or something that she keeps on her dresser. And I think I also put like that like plate, the like craft looking plate that looks like somebody painted on it, like maybe it's something that her grandkids gave her. And this adorable little bunny statue. I haven't actually used that yet, but I thought it just was really cute in here. And again, having some more floral in the rug to tie in from the walls. And then I did struggle a little bit over here. I originally had like the bookcases over there, and then was gonna put a couch in the middle, but then it seemed very formal, if that makes sense. And so I end up like turning it around and putting the bookcases in a fireplace on that left wall. And I think that worked out a little bit better. And this is me figuring out that that bed is a little big for the space. So I end up, swapping it out here in a little bit. And then we have the 2 balconies we'll take care of. And I actually think I lost a little bit of the footage for one of the balconies, so I'm sorry about that, but you'll see it in the screenshots. And so the front balcony is actually off of this bedroom, and I end up making this just like a little seating area. It'll have like a little rocking chair and stuff, like maybe that's where the grandmother hangs out and kind of watches on the street people go by. And then, oh yes, that's where I swapped out the smaller pet bed. And then I thought, because this was carpet, and I don't usually use carpet, but it just felt right for this apartment. But then I was like, having that underneath the fireplace was like, so I just brought some of the tile in. And then I actually I swapped away from the green, but I do swap it back, I believe, in the end, because it just felt so bland over here. And it did match really well with the bedspread, that green. So I do end up bringing that back, and to give it a little more pizzazz over here. And I went through a bunch of like coffee tables, and none of them seem to fit. I don't know why the coffee tables in this game are so huge, but you know, it is what it is. So I end up not putting one in the end and just adding some clutter to those bookcases. I do end up putting some like flower holders on the edge of the balcony, but I think I lost that footage. And then the back is just for gardening. So I hope you enjoyed this build. And if you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like it. And again, this will be on the Sims 4 gallery, and I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.